This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising.
What up, baby? Miami Sports Music's #1 podcast network, the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is Friday. Good morning, my Fins family. My Finlaws, what is going on? How y'all doing? Got something going on? What was going on here? All right, there we go. I don't know what that was. It is your boy, Stephen D., right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Good morning, my Finlaws and my family. My family. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. It's going to be good. It's Spread Kindness Friday. We love Spread Kindness Friday. One of my favorite shows of the week. You can follow me at Stephen D. SKPL, Spread Kindness, Positivity, and Love right here on all social media, including Twitter, or what is formerly Twitter, called X now. So follow me there. You can also follow Miami Sports Music everywhere at Miami Sports Music, except on X, formerly Twitter, at MIA Sports Music. All right. Hey, look, you can also hit that like button. Hit the like button on the way in, guys. Seriously. Hit it, tap it, whatever you got to do to it. Just make it happen. Okay. Make sure you guys hit the like button. And when you do get up here, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. But when you do, hit the bell notification. So that way, when you do hit the bell notification, you get notified anytime Miami Sports Music goes live. Solo D drops some new music, whatever it is. You will be notified of it. So make sure you guys do that up there. Also, hey, look, if you want to sign up to become a member today, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. So sign up to become a member today. There are plenty of seats there for you, okay? Also, hey, look, help the channel grow by donating. There's lots of different ways you can do it. You can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $sign below the bottom of the chat. You can use Super Chat or Super Sticker. All right. And, it helps. It's really, really good there. I will let you know today, there's another way that you can also donate too, and that's using Cash App or PayPal. All right. And Cash App or PayPal is going to be great because there's not as many fees taken out of there, but that's fine. You can use MSM Podcast Network or use the QR code that's right on your screen, or MSM Podcast Network, or use the QR code on your screen. Today, we are going to be giving away an awesome thing that I'm going to have Jason tell you all about, but just to let you know, it's going to be great. We're going to raise some money for the channel, and we're going to have a great show today. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, the #1 place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard to find items. Make sure you follow ZSM Sports today. All right, follow ZSM Sports. All right, make sure you follow Zachary. Lime, Less is More events. We love Less is More events. They are still in our thoughts and our prayers. As everybody knows, it was owned by two beautiful people, Kenny and his wife, Shani. Kenny passed away this past week. So I just want to say RIP to Kenny. Rest in peace. Our beloved friend, sponsor of the show. But Lime is still rolling. It's still moving forward with Shani, who, is there. So make sure, you when you guys do go to Lime and you do happen to talk to anybody, just let them know about Kenny, that, he's in our thoughts and our prayers. I will say this. Give him a call at 202-930-3533. You're going to speak to the assistant there, not Kenny, obviously, and not Shani at the moment. But if you guys need tickets to anything this weekend or anything anytime soon, go to Lime. Less is More events is the best place to do it. Shout out to Lime. I love them being a sponsor of the show, and we're with them 100%. Whatever they need, we're there. And last but certainly not least, Tailgreeter. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android devices. And when you do download the app or go to the website, make sure you also follow them on all social media at Tailgreeter, TAILGREETER. All right. Lot to get into today. It is Friday, Spread Kindness Friday, which means I usually have a co-host. We're going to talk Miami Dolphins, Los Angeles Chargers preview, but we're going to get into that here in a few. Let me bring in my co-host of Friday from Dolphins Weekly, my brother from another mother, Mr. Jason Sarney.
Hey, happy season. Good morning, everybody.
What's up, baby? How are you?
Big coffee this morning.
I know, dude. I was up till like, I don't know, 2 a.m. packing and doing stuff. And so I overslept this morning. This packing thing, it's overrated. I just need people to know that. It's overrated, this packing.
How so? In like a good way or a bad way?
In a bad way, bro. I am not moving again for at least another 20 years. Okay. Not moving again for at least another 20 years. I need people to know that.
We moved into this house about 5 years ago. There are still things that are not done.
In boxes.
Yeah.
Like, I hesitate to show you because it's still, this room is probably the most done room still. But like this weekend, I got to take all this stuff down. So my shows on Monday and Tuesday aren't going to have really any background. And it's a lot. It's so much. But last night was a lot of fun. Football season started. Was excited about that, man. What'd you think of the game last night?
Great game, great ending. That's what you want if you're a team in the AFC where you didn't have any skin in the game last night, really. Out of division, Chiefs are a Super Bowl contending team that may have really hurt themselves in future seeding. Is that ridiculous to say? Week 1, no other teams have played. But you know what? This was a great outcome for Dolphin fans because, one, we love ourselves some Dan Campbell, who deserved the win. And what a call on that fourth and a couple of yards.
I know.
On the 19. I think that they had a stat that it was the first time that deep on a fourth call, a fake punt, since like the 20s. Or something like that. Like it was unbelievable.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Dan Campbell has balls of steel. You are correct, Daniel Taylor. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
The one thing that kind of stuck out to me last night. Look, I watched the game, and at the end of the game, Tirico goes, and I like Tirico, mind you. I like Mike Tirico. Mm-hmm. He goes, "There's going to be an asterisk next to this win," and I was like, "What a crappy thing to say." Because yes, I get there's no Chris Jones. I get there was no Travis Kelce. I understand that. But let's be honest. Detroit played a hell of a game. I picked Detroit to win last night, just so everybody knows. Okay. Me and Chris from the Fins Tailgate both picked Detroit to win. Von Joe and Cameron picked Kansas City. We told y'all what was going to happen. You didn't believe us. Okay. You didn't believe us. Here's what I think last night. Matt Nagy was an X factor, being the offensive coordinator there. And he made some calls last night that were questionable. And I think that you saw a transition from an Eric Bieniemy offense to a Matt Nagy offense last night. And I also think you saw the growth of Detroit as a whole. Aiden Hutchinson, dude's a beast. He's the truth. He's going to be one of the best players. If he's probably already one of the best players on defense in the NFL. He's that good. And but man, I really hated that Tirico said what he said at the end of the game. I just didn't think it was. I didn't think it was fair. But it doesn't matter. The Chiefs lost, and the Lions won, and the Chiefs look very. What's the word I want to use? They don't look invincible.
They're vulnerable.
They are very vulnerable. That's a good way to put it. I like it. Very, very vulnerable.
And I got a bone to pick with the broadcast, by the way. I have a bone to pick. And okay. I was thinking of the tweet. And I said, you know what? I'm going on a show with Steve and D tomorrow. I'll say it then. They were doing a graphic of the Chiefs building a dynasty, which I appreciate. That's accurate. And then they showed the Patriots. That's cool. That's accurate. The Niners, no problem. Steelers, no problem. And then I saw the Raiders. That's cool. But why didn't we see the Dolphins from the 70s? 3 Super Bowls in a row, 2 victories in a row, and undefeated. That was the first dynasty. Shula's couple of years in Miami with the championship. So that was my bone to pick. Would have loved to have seen it. That's my spiel. But anyway.
All right. Hey, let's get into a little bit of what we're going to do today. It is Spread Kindness Friday. We also need to raise some money for the channel. So let me tell you what we're going to do today. So Jason was on Twitter this morning and got this really cool tweet from Baseball History Nut. Tell us what we're doing today, Jason.
Number one, as much as I love baseball history and I used to love it, I'm not in the game. So I really appreciated seeing.
Well, you know I love it. I'm a huge baseball
I know
fan.
this was a great thing to see this morning. Happenstance, because I don't love the game, but my guy Stephen D loves baseball. Baseball History Nut gives me just a heads up. Hey, check out the Funkos are back for Jalen Waddle. So you know what? I go there and all right, great. Oh wow, 14. God, nothing. We get it. Stephen and I, we talked about a fun little thing we could do today for you all. So we're going to do a raffle giveaway, as we like to do. Stephen, you'll give the parameters. But this Funko Jalen Waddle is on the way to my home in the next 3 to 7 business days. And then it's going to go to one of your homes shortly thereafter. 3 to 7 business days plus.
Let me explain how it'll work today. Anybody who donates at least $5 or let me say it like this. Anybody in increments of $5, every $5 you donate to the channel today, you will get an entry into the wheel giveaway this afternoon or after the show.
Wheel of Waddle.
The Wheel of Waddle. Ooh, I like it. So every $5 increment. So if you donate 10, you get 2. If you donate 15, you get 3. You donate 20, you get 4 entries. And Jason's going to keep up with it. And then at the end, we're going to do Wheel of Waddle. I like it. And then we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, with that being said, if you donate at least $5 and you go and sign up for Dolphins Weekly, or you're already signed up for Dolphins Weekly, you take a screenshot of you either signed up or the email in your account, one of the two, and DM it to Jason, and you will get a free entry on top of your $5 donation. You still have to donate at least $5 and then do it like that. So, donate at least $5 to the channel. Every $5 is an entry into the Wheel of Waddle, and you will be entered to win this awesome Funko, Jalen Waddle Funko. It's a great way to raise money for the channel, which we're trying to do. We definitely need to raise some funds here on the channel to get some things taken care of and done. So we're trying to do that. And then, so we got a lot of stuff to do. So let's make it happen. And let's have some fun with it today. And let's get this to somebody's house. So donate at least every $5 is an entry. And if you take a screenshot of you signed up for Dolphins Weekly, or you're already signed up and you get the email, take a screenshot of that and send it to Jason Sarney's DMs at Jason_Sarney. We'll get you another entry for free. Can't beat it, right?
In addition, thank you for that, Stephen. In addition, from this moment through the Sunday game, a new subscriber, and Stephen, if you could throw up that nifty QR code again, a new subscriber to Dolphins Weekly from this moment through the game on Sunday will be entered into another contest in which I will send you, everyone knows I love to cook. I got a couple of Dolphin branded cooking items that I will have one of them sent to a random new subscriber that will be in a drawing right after the Dolphins take care of business in LA against the Chargers. So a lot of fun, a lot of giveaways, a lot of good, a lot of stuff happening, Stephen. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Should be a lot of fun. So we want to raise some money for the channel. Let's go. Okay. Let's make it happen, gentlemen and lady. All right, let's get into today and this weekend while we wait for, remember, every $5. So donate at least $5 and they come in. And we'll get it. Oh, look, somebody just tweeted us. They already got the trio. Well, look at it. Maybe you can win and then just give it to a friend of yours. Mr. Galante. Mr. Galante said, I got the trio. Tyreek, Tua, and Jalen. I like that, Mr. Galante. He tweeted both of us. Shout out to you, man.
Hey,
like
he's the morning upstage. That's okay. We're being upstage.
No, I like it, man. Look, and so donate to the channel, see if you win it, and then maybe you can give it to a friend who comes over and like, dude, I really like those. You do? Do you want one? Here you go. Okay, you can be that friend, man. You can be that friend.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. All right, let's get into what everybody's here for. And that is Miami Dolphins, Los Angeles Chargers, week 1 matchup, the preview show here on Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. All right, let's dive in, man. It's gonna be a great week. 4:25 Eastern Standard Time kickoff, correct? Is it 4:05 or 4:25?
4:25.
4:25. So out there on the left coast. So you get to watch the 1 o'clock games, which I'm excited about. And then at 4 o'clock, you get to sit in your couch or go to your fan club or go to your local watering establishment, and you get to watch the best football game around. What are your thoughts about Sunday's game, man? What is the first couple of things that speak to you, Jason, for Sunday's game?
Different from last year. Number one, let's not look at last year's game and then make an assumption of what we're going to see on Sunday afternoon. There's a lot of differences in my mind. There's also a lot of similarities, sure, but the main difference that I'm looking for is the clear one, brand new defensive philosophy. And there's a component to that defense in the specialty of that new defensive philosophy, I think, in inside linebacking, albeit the thin area. David Long Jr. is going to be a terrific addition to this team and help out what they couldn't really stop last year. And it wasn't a huge, raw statistical explosion from Austin Eckler from a rushing standpoint. He didn't have that great of a rushing game, but he had over 100 yards from scrimmage, and he had 8 receptions on all 8 of his targets as a running back. You need to stop that because on 2 of those occasions, it created first downs that were very beneficial for the Chargers. And these are just things that you should not have happen in abundance and not be able to stop it once. 8 for 8 from a running back, to me, is not good. Now, I think that David Long's ability to literally go 360 around the field, northwest, southeast, you name it, he's going to hopefully neutralize that ability for them to rely on Austin Eckler as a safety valve whenever they need it. In addition to that, all these new schemes and coverages I'm excited to see, but I'm also excited and a little nervous to see who's going to take over for the jobs that Jalen Ramsey was going to do. We'll dive into that in a little bit. But offensively, they now have a third viable weapon, I think, in Braxton Berrios on 3rd and 3, 3rd and medium. You know, so when Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are completely accounted for, you don't need to utilize a guy like 2 of them that you don't have anymore, Mike Gesicki and Trent Sherfield. Those are the 3 and 4th guys that you were relying on last year outside of Tyreek and Jalen. So I think this year, much more viable for this offense. Braxton Berrios could be a 4 reception a game guy. 2 of them, 3 of them, first down reception chain movers. So excited to see those differentiations, one on each offense, defense.
Well, so let me address a couple of things that you said, Jason. Number one, I like what you said about Braxton Berrios. Now, having said that, you and I kind of differ of who that third option is going to be, right? Like we've had that. But I think we will come find out this weekend who that third option, who that third weapon, let me say the third weapon will be on this offense. Because looking around, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, obviously 1 and 2, respectively. And then I look at that and I say, hey, man, who's that third weapon? One of the things that I know in looking at, that horrible first half that we had last year, I don't think that's going to be the case. They're going to come out firing on all cylinders. Tua is going to have a point to prove. And I'll be honest with you, from that standpoint, I think our run game wants to obviously establish dominance. You know, Mike McDaniel is very adamant and has been since the end of last year that, look, the run game is going to play a big part in this year for the Miami Dolphins. I'm not going to abandon it the way that I did multiple times last year during the season. Here's the other thing, the health of Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill had a nagging injury in that Chargers game last year. Doesn't have that nagging injury this year, right? So for the most part, everybody's going to be healthy that's going to be on the field playing. So I think that the Dolphins, this is not the same Dolphins team that played the Los Angeles Chargers last year. On the opposite end of it, getting into it, the defensive side. For me, the defensive side is going to be very interesting because Vic Fangio plays his defense so much different than Josh Boyer did. And part of the reason that we lost last year, there was multiple reasons, but one of them was the defensive scheme that Boyer was playing, especially in that fourth quarter. We're not going to have that problem this year with Fangio. Fangio's going to play exactly what you said. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to bring the pressure to Herbert. And not only that, the secondary is one of the best secondaries in the NFL. And yes, they have Mike Williams. They have Austin Eckler. They have some weapons on offense, but the Dolphins have a damn good defense. And for me, I look around the NFL and I say, who matches up against the Chargers offense the best? There's not too many teams that do, to be fair. And I think the Dolphins are one of them. So I like everything that you said for the most part. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the only part where we kind of disagree is who's that third weapon going to be. I hope it's Berrios, but I don't know, what to say from that.
But one thing before we could dissect the offense in terms of we need to find the third option. I mean, it's funny. It's like,
the third weapon.
The third weapon, so to speak. Absolutely. But back to the defensive side of the ball, what's different is the fact that last year's defensive coordinator for the Chargers is now the Dolphins' right-hand man to Vic Fangio as the defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator and former Dolphins assistant and former Dolphins player Ronaldo Hill. So what Ronaldo Hill did for that defense and now what he's doing with Vic Fangio and this defense is almost a minus there, a positive here. So it's a net plus for the Dolphins in what it does. And I think that could be a huge X factor is Ronaldo Hill, Vic Fangio together against the Chargers, where Ronaldo Hill's going to be like, listen, this is what I've seen from this quarterback and these two receivers. I can't tell you much on field about this rookie, Quentin Johnson, who's a good player, but you catch my drift. There's enough knowledge from the defensive scheming room where I think Herbert's going to see some ghosts, not to steal from a Sam Darnold line, but, he's going to throw some picks. He's going to get sacked. This could be a shootout, sure, but I think he's going to get hit. I think he's going to maybe throw multiple interceptions. So I think this is going to be a great, great defensive flip game for the Dolphins from last year.
Shout out to my man Wayne D. Experience. He says, I'm out of jail. I want my wrench. I got you, man. You're getting your wrench right now as moderator. You are a wrench. You're a member of the channel. I appreciate you being a member of the channel for 3 months too, man. Thank you very much. All right, let me read look. The best part about our show, Jason, is people have different ideas than what we have because this is a show for the fans by the fans. So people have different ideas than what we have. So let's read some of them. Let's see here. Mafia Mania, which, by the way, you're a Bills fan. What do you really know, Mafia Mania? Appreciate you watching the show, though. Says Fangio doesn't blitz. Where is the pressure coming from?
I'm going to re-answer that question, Mafia Mania. As Fangio said, he'll blitz when he feels it's advantageous to blitz. You can quote me on him quoting that. I might have missed a word or two, but he literally looked at the report and said, I'll blitz when I think it's the right time or advantageous to. And that, to me, plays on the one word that I care about, efficiency. I don't care about total. I don't care about raw. I don't care about gross. I care about efficiency.
And by the way, it's not even about blitzing. It's about the pressure of the front seven, correct? Even that front four, which the Dolphins have. Like, let's be honest, Zach Seiler, Christian Wilkins, both those guys can get into the backfield whenever they want. And we haven't even discussed Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, who, in my opinion, are going to what's the word? They're going to excel. Bradley Chubb's best career year was under Fangio. So there's no reason for me to think that these guys aren't going to flourish under a Mike or under a Vic Fangio-led defensive scheme. They don't have to blitz. I think the pressure is going to come from them. Straight up. And that's what I'm excited to see what the linebacking core does. I have question marks about the linebacking core. Don't get it twisted, but the question marks come from I just don't know how they're going to be utilized over the course of the year in this defense, especially playing a team like Justin Herbert who can sit back in the pocket and throw the ball, and that's what he's good at doing. Let's be honest.
Mafia.
What are you about to say?
I mean, just to answer the question. Does he blitz? Now, does he blitz like Brian Flores did? Exotic packages all the time, zero blitz? No. But let me tell you this. He is going to blitz when he feels it's advantageous. And if you look at the 2020 Denver team, lo and behold, Denver was, drum roll please, top 10 in sacks in the NFL. So, having said that, you can blitz a million times and not get to the quarterback or sack them efficiently, or you could, great.
And it doesn't equal to wins either. Doesn't equal to wins either.
But if to answer the question, no, you're not going to get sacks because they don't blitz. The pressures that they're producing because of the scheme and system allowing other people to just simply have a direct line to the quarterback could equate to a top 10 or better sack production unit. Now, let's look at Zach Sealer, Christian Wilkins, and Raekwon Davis as a front three line. They could take up 4 or 5 individuals really easily.
And let me also say Christian Wilkins led the league last year in tackles in the backfield.
Correct.
Led the league last year in tackles in the backfield.
Correct. So when you're looking at that, and Christian Wilkins, he's getting a tackle for loss once a game. Like once a game, he's breaking through that line and he's tackling the running back. To me, you're losing 3 yards, 4 yards on a running play. You're losing 5, 6 yards on a quarterback sack. We can kind of place those similarly together. You know what I'm saying? But the 3 guys up front for the Dolphins will win a matchup, which will allow a mismatch or an open lane. Chubb and Ginkle on a sub in for Jalen Phillips, Jerome Baker, David Long Jr. There's going to be mismatches for what Fangio is going to scheme for his meaty guys up front to do, including Wilkins, who's a mismatch any day of the week. So I don't care that we're not seeing, why isn't Javon Holland and Brandon Jones blitzing all the time? Why aren't we seeing Emmanuel Ogbah, getting to the quarterback every single down? No, give me Ogbah on 35 to 50% of the snaps, but efficiently.
All right, let me look at, and I know there's a lot of critique within the fan base, and even outside the fan base, there's a lot of critique and skepticism, and I get that, and I understand that, and that's what we want to address a little bit with you guys today. Bo Leg says not one of the main reasons why we lost is because one of the main reasons why we lost is the office. I think he meant the offense did not help the defense and kept them off the field. You know what? You're not wrong there. Right? Like there was multiple times last year and even in the Chargers game where the defense had the LA offense on the field most of the time. And our offense couldn't stay on the field in order to give our defensive rest. That's fair, especially in the first half. That's very fair, right? I promise you this year is going to be a little bit different. Number 1, we're healthy. Number 2, right. I don't see in any way, I'll tell you, if the Dolphins replicate in any way, shape, and form the first half that they did last year against the Chargers in this game, then I will admit I will be, colored me surprised. I would be very surprised.
The first half was bad.
That was one of the worst halves of football in the history of football and in the history of the Dolphins the last 10 years. But
now,
the second half, they changed, and they were in that game. They were in that game.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to listen
at halftime.
Yeah, correct. To to listen to the. I mean, that would have been directly on Boyer. But and just to address the tackle for loss situation, no, I don't think we said that Christian Wilkins led the league in tackles for loss. I think, Stephen, you correctly said that he led the league in tackles in the backfield.
I said led
tackles for loss.
Not tackles for loss, led tackles in the backfield. So behind the line of scrimmage, he led tackles in the NFL behind the line of scrimmage last year.
No, okay, because I think okay. I don't know if you meant against running backs per se, but I think he is right where Max Crosby's up there. I think the number for Christian Wilkins was 17 or 16. So whatever that equated to.
If
but
he's
yes,
not first, he's like he's one of
the best in the league in tackles for loss.
He was up there leading the league for a long time last year. And if it turned out that the end of the year he wasn't, okay, it wasn't by much. We're talking a couple, maybe 3 or 4. But I'm telling you, for most part last year, he led the league in tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
Not at the end of the year, but yes, he's up there in tackles for loss. Yes.
King Mill says, this team has let me down for years. I need to see it before I jump out the window. No more wishing and hoping for me. I got to see it to believe it. King Mill, there's nothing wrong with that. And here's how I look at that, okay? For me, Dolphin fans have PTSD, straight up, okay? And when you have PTSD, you're looking at it and you're saying to yourself, okay, look, you guys have tried to sell me this box of goods before. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be doing this with you, this back and forth here. Facts. I'll give you that, King Mill. I don't have a problem with you thinking that. Understand this, okay? Understand this. The Dolphins are going to, they've already changed things. This team would have been totally different last year if McDaniel was allowed to come in and add Fangio last year, which is what he wanted to do. The Dolphins front office said, no, we're going to keep with who we got. That's fine. That's fair. Understand this. The Dolphins, when it's all said and done, they're not the same team they were last year. They're better. They're improved. And the play calling is going to be more improved. We now have a second-year head coach, not a first-year head coach. We now have one of the best defensive coordinators in the league where we had, look, Boyer, he's not a defensive coordinator. I'm sorry. He's not. He's a great defensive coach. He's not a good defensive
coordinator. Good talent evaluator, but he's not a good play-calling coordinator, no.
No, facts. I'll give you that. I remember our defense stopping a team's 6th grade drive and an offense could do nothing. I don't know. A 6th grade drive? I don't know what you meant by that, Bowleg. Do that a little. Say that again, and because I don't understand what you mean. Joseph Whalen says, I'm just worried about the O-line, and if Armstead is out, it could be for a very long day.
We didn't address that yet. No, you're right.
You, Joseph. Like, that is my biggest worry about this team right now is the O-line. Me too. Having said that, we won football games last year without Teron Armstead. We did. Not many, but we did. Not many, but we did. Look, here's the thing. You want me to believe in McDaniel, which I do. You want me to believe in Greer, which I do. Then I have to believe with me. I have to believe them when they tell me, and they've been telling our entire fan base, guys, don't worry about the O-line. It's going to be fine. It's going to work out. We're not worried about it the same way you guys are. Now, I will tell you this. If it turns out to be lies that they're telling me, I will be the first one on the channel to be like, you guys told me not to worry about it, and I obviously need to worry about it. But they haven't even played a snap in the regular season yet. Let me see how it works out. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. I'm blindly going to be a fan to give them the benefit of the doubt on this. We know that the offensive line has issues. We know that the offensive line is Achilles' heel for this team. Let's see how it plays out. Maybe it is going to be different. I don't know, but maybe. Go ahead, Jason. What do you think about the O-line?
It's concerning. It's definitely concerning. Without Teron Armstead, it's extremely concerning. And, the whole Liam Eichenberg at left guard on the initial depth chart, let's see how that plays out. But, I mean, look, there's things that hopefully can negate the trouble with the offensive line, and that's, very quick release out of Tua. This is a testament, this next stat is to Tua and Mike McDaniel and to the offense and to just getting the ball out quickly, is the Dolphins were top 10, 9 actually in sacks allowed. That doesn't mean it was the ninth least. So that's not saying that the offensive line were phenomenal blockers. That's circumventing the issue because Tua was so quick getting the ball out. So that I want to see a lot of, like extremely quick hit plays. Let your receivers do the job this game. I know last year he led the league to a yards per pass attempt and yards per completion. I was not getting a lot of yak, but this game, I would love to see that, so we're not looking at, Tua in the pocket so long where the offensive line is trying to protect him so much. And from a running standpoint, that could be a little tricky. I really hope that Raheem Mostert is used well, 14 to 16 touches overall, probably factoring in a couple of receptions. But I'm curious to see who RB2 and 3 is. Like who's going to use who, or how is Salvon Ahmed going to be used, or Chris Brooks or Devon Achane? Are all three of them going to dress behind Raheem Mostert? So that I'm curious about too. So the offensive line as a whole, worried about, can they get around it this game schematically? I think so, but there is worry.
All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Want to remind you guys today, every $5 donation that we get today, you will be entered to win a Jalen Waddle Funko. Okay, Jalen Waddle Funko. So if you're interested in that, donate at least every $5 that you donate to the channel, you get an entry. So you donate 5, you get 1. You donate 10, you get 2. All right. And if you donate to the channel for the entry to get a Jalen Waddle Funko, then, and you also download Dolphin Weekly app and you send a screenshot to Jason Sarney at Jason_Sarney, and you send a screenshot that you did, you'll get a free entry on top of the entry that you already got with your donation. Okay. Trying to raise money for the channel, trying to help the channel grow. So make sure you do that. Also, 100 people in here, 31 likes. Hit the like button. It's free. That doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button, and share the link. Let people know that we're live here now. What do you want to get into next as far as the game on Sunday? What's another X factor that needs to be discussed about Sunday's game, Jason?
Just jumping back to the whole Christian Wilkins, Max Crosby thing. Max Crosby had a lot of sacks, which is credited for a tackle for a loss. We were talking about Christian Wilkins breaking up running back plays, in which case I think he did that the most. So Max Crosby on a sack is equal to a tackle for loss. So that's incorporating the sack numbers too. So that's just semantics. But anyway, what was your exact question, Steven? Sorry to just jump back up.
Well,
I just want to clarify.
Here's the funny part, right? Like when people try to second guess.
Yeah, it's just because it's not second guessing. This was complete clarification because I'm thinking, did I say that right in my head? No, I probably worded it wrong. So look, we live in the age of splicing things. So we gotta come quick with the clarification.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I see Mafia Mania and Red, White, and Bills trying to get the chat fired up today. Hey, Dolphins, get these boys in the chat. Tell them to stop playing with us. Let's go.
Preseason's over, man.
Y'all gonna finish third in the division anyway. Okay. Anyway, y'all gonna finish third. Stop it. Your quarterback and your wide receiver don't get along no more. Your head coach don't know what he's doing. He out here firing great coaches like Leslie Frazier. Just stop. Just stop. Bills are going to be horrible this year. Yeah, I said it. I'm a hater. I don't care.
Oh, boy.
F the Bills. I said it. Let's go. Wayne D says, yay, y'all dingle dorks get lost.
I like Wayne.
I like it, man. All right. What else? All right. You know what I want to get into? The running back situation.
Oh, good segue. I like it.
Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane. Yes, I didn't say Jeff Wilson's name.
You're good. He's out 4 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I think Devon Achane, even with Jeff Wilson being out for 4 weeks, is going to establish himself as one of the top guys in the backfield for us this year. Now, granted, that doesn't sound like it can be a lot. In my opinion, I think it is. I think it's he's going to show his true colors. Devon Achane was drafted as high as he was for a reason. Devon Achane was drafted by Mike McDaniel for a reason. Devon Achane has a real chance at a coming out party. Do you agree?
Immediately, I'm going to have a little pause because I think the next 4 weeks is going to be Raheem Mostert's backfield for darn sure. And what I mean by that is, like I said earlier, about let me call it 15 to 17 because I want to factor in a couple of receptions too. Because when you look at Raheem last year when the whole Chase Edmonds situation didn't work out, he really was carrying the load quite often for like 4 or 5 straight games and did pretty well. I think that's what we're going to see starting tomorrow, Sunday, where he's going to get anywhere from 15, 16, 17 handoffs. And when it comes to receptions, 2 a game. And I think he's going to do quite well, which leaves about 5 to 8 touches for Devon Achane. And let's see what happens with Savon Ahmed or Chris Brooks. Now, remember, these Dolphins were 3 running back dressed situations last year. They didn't dress everybody. So if they have every one of these 4 running backs, that'll be interesting. And I think Chris Brooks should factor in as a goal line back. So I'm going to be very curious to see who they run out with, who they utilize after Mostert consistently, but it will be Mostert predominantly.
Yeah, look,
right now, immediately.
I thought that up until about a week ago, man. And let me tell you why, Jason. Something, kind of got, to me, like McDaniel said he's not going to abandon the run. But you can't give a huge workload to Raheem Mostert without the man gets hurt. We know that he does. I think that it's going to fall upon Devon Achane sooner rather than later to be one of those backs that is relied upon heavily for this offense. I think Devon Achane is the sole reason why the Dolphins never executed the trades. I'm not saying that they didn't look. I'm not saying that they didn't see what was out there, but I'm saying they never executed on the trades because of Devon Achane. They looked at Saquon Barkley. They looked at Swift. They looked at Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, all these. I think that Devon Achane is going to play a significant role in this offense, man. I do.
Eventually, I'm with you. Eventually.
You're not right now.
I'm not saying not right now. I'm saying my word is efficiency. So, all right. And fantasy football, folks, I'm apologetic here because if you're looking for 12 touches, 90 yards from scrimmage, 4 receptions and a touchdown on Sunday, I hope I'm wrong, but don't expect that. I'm an expectation guy. So if I'm looking at the time when Achane's going to be on the field, probably on some third downs and pass situations, maybe some running scattered plays here or there. Remember, he's a rookie who was hurt in the preseason and is now coming back, probably a little banged up. So I don't see him going huge snap counts per se. Savon Ahmed could get more burn than him. Chris Brooks could get more burn than him on Sunday. But eventually, yes, Achane is a guy who I think is going to be a very, very huge factor, hopefully sooner than later. But in terms of their debut game, I would love to see Mostert really have a really solid game because you know what? If you get really good burn from Mostert in a month, let's hypothetically say that. And to your point, you're correct. He played 16 games last year, but that was the first time he played even close to a full season.
First time he even played close to that.
I'm with you. But he's also, much like I love to say, I'm going to keep on using this word, he's an efficiency guy. Number 4 in the football Super Bowl era in career yards per carry. So
really?
That is a fact. That is a fact. In
Never,
career,
I'll be honest with you, that never would have even
I'll take the picture.
20 other names before I ever got to him.
In career, there's qualification, but number one, I mean, you're going to be shocked at the player who is the qualified career leader in this. It's Rashad Penny at 5.69 yards per carry.
Wow.
Bo Jackson, number 2.
Seattle, I'm about to say Seattle Mariners, Seattle Seahawk, and Dallas. He was with the Cowboys too, I think. Penny.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I know he's with the Seahawks.
But, Seahawks, definitely. But Jamal Charles, number 5 on the list at 5.38, the same exact yard per carry career average as Raheem Mostert. So to get back on where I was trying to fly the plane and land here, but Mostert might have a significant, 4 weeks. I was the workhorse. I was averaging 17 rushes. I was averaging 20 touches. Maybe I need a break. Meaning Jeff Wilson's back. Achane could have a featured week 5, 6, 7. Pull the reins back a little on Mostert now that we're in October, because now we have Wilson back. We have Brooks getting more work. We have Achane. We have Ahmed. So if you're going to utilize Raheem Mostert to get off to a swimming start, I don't want to say rock him till the wheels fall off, but
I mean, you can.
I can. I mean, I can right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we have other guys who, if I'm not looking at Raheem as just like just wheels, but I guess I just did. Here's
a theory. I have a theory, and I want to ask your opinion on this, Jason. Do the Dolphins do that with the mindset of, if we need to execute a trade?
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Do you think that's McDaniels and Greer's mindset, that they're like, all right, we're going to give Moser bulk of the carries. We're going to let him have the workload here. If he seems that he can't do it, we let Achane do it for a minute or two, and we don't want to put that on a rookie anyway. So if we need to, bring in somebody via trade come week 7, week 8, we can do that. Do you think that is their mindset?
Do I think that is their mindset? My answer to that is what all of our answers should be. We don't have a freaking clue what their mindset is. We can jump into and assume and speculate. I think that their mindset is always, this isn't show friends, it's show business. Meaning, it's all business, right? So Raheem Mostert's a great guy. They love Raheem Mostert, but he's a running back right now.
Yeah.
Meaning, he's a running back. Christian Wilkins is a great guy. We love Christian Wilkins, and we have a deal for you here. But he's a defensive tackle. He's not Christian. You know what I'm saying? It's not the person, it's the business. They're going to do what's best for business in the exact moment. And what's best for business, in my mind, is to utilize Raheem Mostert at peak strength now, because frankly, you have to, because Wilson's not there. You have a rookie, you have an undrafted free agent, and you got another undrafted free agent rookie. So it's Raheem Mostert's show. He's in charge of the committee until the VP comes back, right? So in my mind, I would have no problem with this. I'll give you this hypothetical. Dolphins are 3-1. Raheem Mostert has 2 touchdowns, averaged about 80 yards per scrimmage a game, and has got a hammy week 5. And he's a scratch. Wilson's in, Achane, Brooks, Ahmed, 3 of those 4 playing. They do quite well. They win the game. 4-1. Mostert comes back, and then we're talking about a new mix of a 3-headed monster based on what the other couple of guys did. That's what I'm thinking business-wise. And if those things don't work out, I got 2 weeks until the trade deadline, Steven. You're with me? They have options internally. They have options externally, and a little bit of both.
Okay. I think that you're fair. Here's my thought process. I don't think the Dolphins would have been looking at another girl, quote unquote, running back, if they weren't interested in being with them. But I also think that they want to see what they have. Okay. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah, I think that the Dolphins are legit going to see Jeff Wilson being on the IR for the first 4 weeks could be a blessing in disguise for the Dolphins.
Exactly.
Is that fair to say?
That's exactly what I'm insinuating, because Wilson, the committee could be really, really good in spurts. Raheem's got 9 games. Wilson's got 3 games. Achane was a stud 2 games. Chris Brooks won us a game with 3 touchdowns on 5 carries. I'm being very, very hypothetical and idealistic here, but my point is, this is a running back by committee with a feature back, a second guy assumptively, but 3 guys who really could be the second guy, if that makes sense. So I love this dynamic, and I'm interested in playing out. I'm a Ricky Mostert guy. I just want this guy to stay healthy and get his 16, 17 touches and continue his progression of getting 5.5 yards a carry. He does that. He's proven it. Some of them are chunk yards.
Mafia Mania, you're an idiot, just so you know. An absolute idiot. Don't tell too many
don't
people
even worry
that.
about it, Steven.
But he's an idiot. Okay,
don't
idiot.
even. I've been side-eyeing Mafia. Don't even worry
idiot.
about him.
I ain't worried about him. I ain't worried about Mafia Mania. All right. Next thing I want to get into. Tua. What do you expect out of Tua Tagovailoa this Sunday? What do you
this Sunday?
Yes, this Sunday. I'm not talking about the season. I'm talking about in this game. What do you expect?
That's a much different question. Different question. What do I expect? Can I say what I want? And it's what I expect too. But this is what I want. And I hope that this is what we're going to see. Leadership, absolute confidence.
Yep.
All right.
Which I think he has.
No, he has these things. And I want to see him just move this offense like he did when he was in. He did really, really well. Really, really well in getting the ball out. He was hitting his receivers. He was putting them in the perfect position. I like also what we're going to hopefully see with McDaniel's play calling. I think it's going to be opened up a little bit. So this week, I'm expecting, and I want to see, because I'm also expecting the defense to do quite well. So I'm expecting a 27-23 game. I'm expecting a one-possession game, and I'm expecting Tua to have a clean slate in terms of don't turn the ball over. If it's one pick, whatever, but no multiple interceptions, convert third downs, win the game. I think they're going to win the game. I truly do. He doesn't need to go 30 of 40 for 375 yards and 4 touchdowns. I want him to move the offense. I want the defense to take care of business timely, bend, don't break, get some sacks, get some turnovers. They were not a very takeaway team last year. I want to see takeaways. I want to see pressure where interceptions come from batted balls, pass defended. I want to see those turnovers that good defenses get because they're swarming around the ball. You know what I mean? Those gifted turnovers that are created from pressure. So I think that Tua doesn't have to be an MVP caliber player on Sunday. I think he needs to do exactly what he is on this team to do. Move the offense, let the playmakers make plays, because I think the defense is going to pick them up and win this game, hopefully for this Dolphin team too. That's what I got.
I think that Tua for me needs to have a statement game. I'm not talking about a Baltimore game. I just think he needs to come out. It's funny. Like Epps said, no interceptions. I don't think that's. I don't, and I'm not saying that Epps, you're saying this, but I don't know why some of the fan base believes that there's a problem with interceptions for Tua when clearly that's not something he has an issue with. I just want him, whether he throws an interception or not, and I hope that he doesn't, but if he does, it's not the end of the world. I want him to have a statement game. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. I want him to take over this game. And I want him to be one of the reasons why the Dolphins win. If our defense comes out flat, which I highly doubt that it will, mind you, highly doubt that it will. I want us to be able to go tick for tack with the Chargers, which I know that we can. I just want to see. I'll be honest with you. I have numbers. I want to see 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. And if I see that in a game against Justin Herbert and the Chargers and we win, which I expect to, I don't want to hear anybody coming on the show talking about what are the Dolphins. No, Dolphins are legit. They're there. Tua's legit. They're there. I want Tua to come out and say, all right, boys, you know that MVP race that I was good with for the first 8 or 9 weeks last year? Here we go. We're good.
Let me paint you a scenario. Listen, I love what you said, and I'm sure people could interpret this however they want to interpret this. This team may make things a little easier on Tua in this capacity.
I sure do, Sal. I expect wins every week. I'm sorry. I do expect wins every week. Sorry.
No, you're good. Listen, we all should expect wins every week. You know, we're just not going to get
here for. We don't expect to win every week.
You play to win the game. You know, and
win the game.
That's what I care about is wins. Now, and Tua is a winning quarterback, and I think that is going to be the legacy that he is going to be, is the amount of wins that he will eventually produce. I don't care so much about stats here, and I'm going to explain why. This defense can be dramatical. Is that a word? Dramatically different from last year in creating a shorter field for the offense, right? In helping the quarterback and the offense go less distance to potentially, put points on the board, be a little bit more efficient, get a little bit more of a fourth quarter run game going, killing the clock because the defense is doing their job. It's time to get out of there and go home with a W, So shootouts are nice. Stats are nice. But I think that this team is built completely where if we see, hypothetically, 17 of 21, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks for Tua, and everyone's like, well, we didn't get 300 yards. I don't care. I don't care about fantasy football anymore. I have one team. I used to have 30. I don't care anymore about fantasy football or stats. I want wins. And that's all I care about statistically. They're fun. They're great. It's nice to quantify players with them, sure. But this year, this team is so complete. I don't care about 2,000 yards for Tyreek. I don't. I'd much rather 1,400 and fluctuate those other yards.
2,000 yards from Tyreek equals wins.
It might, or you're down by 4 touchdowns, 5 times throughout the year, and there's 375 yards worth of garbage time yards. So maybe not.
That's a lot. But I get what you're saying.
Divide 375 by 17. I mean, just out of curiosity.
I'll be real with you. I expect Tyreek to get to 2K this year. I think he's going.
That's 22 yards a game. Let's say it's in the fourth quarter, which amortizes to just over 100 yards a game. If you're looking at 22 yards a quarter, my point is, I would rather more games of Tyreek getting a touchdown or 2 and 88 yards, and the game's freaking over at 35-12, and we're seeing Chris Brooks get 5 fourth quarter carries because you know what? Let's rest them. How often have we seen fourth quarters where we're resting everyone, or we're just getting out of Dodge, everyone's shaking hands? I can count 5 games in 10 years where we've just said, let's go home. We're out. Every game's a close one possession game. Let's get rid of that. Let's start separating and resting for the long haul. That's what Super Bowl championship teams do. They beat the snot out of you, so maybe the last 15 minutes are a little easier. I want to beat the snot out of teams early.
You do, or you don't care?
I want to beat the snot out of teams early so efficiently that we might not need all these gaudy stats. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude, I'm with you, man. I tell people all the time, my goal this year for 2 is to play 16 games. Because in the 17th game, I want Mike White to start because we have locked up the number 1 seed and we're good. That's what I want. I want Tua to play 16 games this year. Do not want him to play 17 in the regular season. I want him to play 16.
The best thing that we could see The greatest thing that we could see is 16 games from Tua, the 17th game being a rest because it's the last game of the year and it's against Buffalo. But you know what? It means nothing because we already locked it up and the Bills are fighting for whatever. You don't play Tua to knock.
And then,
you know
what? The Bills are fighting for the last spot in the playoffs, and then Mike White kills them. That would be absolute. That would
earn him in quarterback dollars. That would earn him an extension of about $5 billion if he would do that.
Do you know how happy I would be if that happened? That would be like the best Christmas present ever, New Year's present ever. Dolphins clinched the number 1 seed in the AFC. They don't need to play their starters week 17. They face the Bills with our backups, and then we beat the Bills with our backups so that they don't get into the playoffs. Oh my God.
There would have to be some sort of a watch over Western New York if that happens. There would be dark.
No Bills fans allowed at any bridges. No Bills fans allowed at any bridges. None at all. Okay. Look, it's
a pretty picture though. It's a pretty picture if you're thinking about it. But anyway.
Oh my goodness. It would be great. I would love every second of that if that happened. Miami Sports Music's number 1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you'll see a pinned tweet. Donate in increments of $5 and be entered to win a Jalen Waddle Funko. That's right, a Jalen Waddle Funko. Why is that? Because we're giving one away, man. We are giving one away. Let me put it up on the screen so people can see. And we're trying to raise money for the channel, just as you guys know. Okay. So donate in increments of 5 and try to raise money for the channel. And I will tell you, the first person that donates a minimum of $20 to the channel today, Jason's going to send out a random football card to it as well, right? You're going to send a football card in there to the first person who donates at least 20.
Let's go into the Dolphin drawer. I'll tell you what I'll do. Because I'm generous, might as well do a rated 10 to a rookie card.
Not for 20?
I'd like to get the ball rolling.
Wow. That's a legit card for $20.
It's only rated 10 out of 10.
Hey, man. Hey, let's go. Let's raise some money for the channel, people. Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into something that people aren't going to necessarily touch on in a lot of preview shows, but they should. Special teams. Special teams is going to be a very important part of the success of this team, man.
My life.
What do you expect from, here's what I say. I think Danny Crossman's on the hot seat. I really believe that. I think Danny Crossman, if it turns out to be a huge problem, Danny Crossman's not going to last the year, and nor should he. I'm nervous about special teams. I'm not necessarily nervous about Jason Sanders. I think Jake Bailey, I saw a couple punts this year in the preseason where I'm like, okay, he still looks like he might have it. But I'm worried about teams starting on the 35, 45 in their own territory, like us giving up yards on punt returns and kick returns, us giving up touchdowns. What is your thought about special teams? Mudbone with the $20 donation. Mudbone. Shout out to you. You got 4 entries in, and you got the card. DM Jason_Sarney on Twitter, Mudbone, and he will mail that bad boy out to you. You won it. Way to go, Mudbone. Shout out to you. And you got 4 spots in the Funko giveaway. Let's go. And Mudbone, and remember, if you sign up because you donated, if you donate at all today, at least $5, and then sign up for Jason Sarney's Dolphins Weekly, you'll get an extra entry for free. Shout out to you, my guy.
There's a lot of fun stuff this season, folks, for subscribers. Just now that I could just jump in there, I mean, I'm going back into the vault for Dolphins gear. It's all about community, and that's what the newsletter is. So thank you, Steven, for giving me the platform for that. But it is going to be all season. And to get on the special teams tip, Yeah, Darren Rizzi wanted to stay in Miami, get the right job, but that didn't happen, so we'll never see Darren Rizzi again. Unfortunately, I pray that I'm wrong, but that was an amazing special teams coach.
Darren Rizzi was the best special teams coach in the NFL.
Next to Mike Westhoff, he's my favorite special teams coach of all time, and I love Mike Westhoff. But anyway, coverage. One of the worst coverage units in all of football last year, from every aspect of it. So that needs to change. Jake Bailey from a punter. I would watch Tommy Townsend's last night performance over and over again, because Pat McAfee was going crazy over it too. I mean, when you're impressing punter himself, Pat McAfee, and look, Tommy Townsend, he was punting the ball into the stratosphere with hang time. That was remarkable. So not only that, needs to be to the side of the field. It needs to be to an area where if it bounces, it goes out of bounds, or it does not create return potential. That's what I want to see from Jake Bailey. I don't need as much booming kicks with hang time like Townsend as much as I need directional, non-returnable kicks. That would be great. And, of course, the elephant in the room from special teams is Jason Sanders, who was perfect this preseason, PATs and field goals. The sample size was, of course, minimal, but he did not miss. And I truly do think that with him, it is not distance, it's mental. It is just getting right. It's like a golfer who has the yips in punting and putting. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off.
Keep on talking. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
You got me talking on special teams. I could probably do that. Now, from a return standpoint on the Dolphins, you have Braxton Berrios, who is going to come on in and help out, I hope, when he gets his opportunities on the punt return game. And from a kickoff standpoint, you have him and Devon Achane, and that's not a very prevalent area where a lot of yards are happening or even touchdowns because of the rules. So hopefully we can trickle up that average start of field position when the opportunity arises with Berrios and Achane. But, again, it's the coverage. It's when you're punting the ball, you have to tackle the return man, and the punter has to do a good job, as I believe Morstead did last year, of placing the ball properly. But you got to make the tackles. You got to get down the field, and you got to down the ball efficiently. I'll tell you, someone who was so freaking good at that, who I miss, was Mac Hollins as a gunner. Another ace gunner type of player.
Walt
Akins. Amazing. Walt Akins, exactly. Walt Akins is like one of my favorite all-time
Walt Akins
Dolphins.
was on this team and a captain, specifically in the sole reason for special teams.
And he made it look good too. Like when he made it look good. Yeah, it's like unheralded guys like that I appreciate. So I want to see a guy step up who is going to be that guy to turn a touchback into putting the ball on the 3 or the 2 or the 1. That's the differences that we need. I mean, football is a game of differences, as we saw last night. Look at what we saw last night with something as simple as a wide receiver not catching a ball. Yep. I don't mean to bash Kadarius Toney, but the Chiefs should not have lost that game. But what
I'm going to tell you right now, I mean this when I tell you this, Jason. They won a Super Bowl last year without Tyreek, okay? But I knew there would come a day that they would miss Tyreek. And let me tell you, last night they missed having Tyreek Hill.
I mean,
if Kelsey is gone for any amount of time, hell, I mean, we saw it last night. I think Kelsey was probably an X factor last night. I think Chris Jones was probably an X factor last night. Chris Jones not playing didn't allow, the defense to probably get into the backfield as much and maybe make Jared Goff make different decisions with the football. Travis Kelce would have been thrown to more, and maybe there's not as many drop passes, and maybe there's drives extended. Those two things played a significant role last night. If the Chiefs go into the season, to me, that's what I look like. If Tyreek Hill goes down, God forbid, not the end of the world. It's not. I know people think I'm crazy for saying that. I don't think it is. I think if Teron Armstead is down for an extended period of time, we're in deep trouble. But I don't think that way about Tyreek Hill. And that's the problem with teams in general, especially at any position group. If you are heavily relied upon just one player to be successful, you will eventually fail. You might have some luck. You might have some good fortune. You might win a Super Bowl, which is all what we want to do anyway, to be fair. Okay. But there's going to come a time eventually in that tenure or that relationship where, oh, snap, Travis Kelce's not here. Who's catching footballs? People are dropping them. There were so many drops last night by Kansas City. And Kadarius Toney, he is not the answer for the Kansas City Chiefs. You agree with that statement?
I saw a tweet from someone that didn't just show the non-receptions, but what they led to and the situations that they were in. You could drop a ball, but when you drop balls repeatedly, leading to a turnover, not creating a first down, not getting into field goal range. I mean, these were egregiously, horribly timed drops. It was a cuttable offense, Steven, to me. Like, it was actually a game when you rewatch it, it's almost a cuttable offense. Wow, it was a bad game. It was a really graded out. It was
PJ Max said, drop Toney from my fantasy team expedition.
I mean,
love the lean on me reference PJ Mac expeditiously. Like it.
It was a horrible game. But you're right. I mean, a guy like a Tyreek Hill that you can rely on, a guy like a Travis Kelce that you can rely on, was not there last night. And Detroit played a good enough game to take advantage of it on the road. I mean, no credit taken away from them, but they beat the champions because the champions were.
Don't tell Mike Tirico that, because he gave them an asterisk next to the win. It bothered me that he said that.
You could do that, I think, in my opinion. You could do that when you're talking about the game the next day, but when the coaches are shaking the hands in the middle of the field and you're kind of wrapping up your broadcast, I don't know if that's the way to do that, taking away from the victory of the team. Placing a verbal asterisk on it, I don't know. I didn't hear many people, maybe I'm wrong, during the Dolphins playoff loss saying, well, let's place an asterisk on this loss because, Skylar Thompson was the quarterback. But
look, exactly, Skylar Thompson.
Broadcasters say that right away.
Maybe.
Really? Maybe. Did they use the word asterisk? No. Or else we would have been talking about it.
I want to finish up on the special teams real quick, just really quick. If Jake Bailey is a reason that we lose a game, and here's what I mean by that. He has a couple shank punts.
Don't you put that evil on me. Don't you put that evil on me.
We need to talk about it. We have to talk about it. If Jake Bailey has a couple of shank punts that puts the Chargers in very good scoring position and or close to being in scoring position, do you make a change from week 1 to week 2?
Yes. All right. That was a very quick yes.
No, I by the way, I say yes. I think he has a short leash.
Well, I think he's got a very short leash, and I'll say it this way. If you're an all-pro punter on your resume and they signed an undrafted free agent to compete in camp with an all-pro punter, I don't know how common that is. When that scenario exactly happens where you sign an all-pro punter, removed a year from the season that you were an all-pro, and you're still bringing in an undrafted guy to compete and maybe have him take that job because maybe you're not all that confident. But then again, they signed him for a lot of money. So he didn't show me in the preseason that he was a booming punter who could flip the field and be that, when called upon,
There were no coffin kicks that I saw.
Exactly. I'm going to bring Dolphin fans of a certain age back to 2002. I actually am traumatized over a punt and a punter by the name of Mark Royals. So, Steven, I don't know if you remember the game 2002 is the last game of the season. Basically, win and in, lose and go home at New England. Ricky Williams. It was a mismanaged series by Dave Wanstead.
Was
Mark Royals. Not that game. That wasn't the snowball game. That wasn't the snow
I thought
game.
that was the snowball game.
No. It was essentially the Dolphins basically needed to just get out of Dodge. They were up by 3 or something. Mismanaged. Yeah, Ricky Williams, and I think that they decided to throw twice and run on 3rd and long to set up a 4th and long punt from their own end zone. And Mark Royals had the worst punt I've ever seen in my life. And subsequently, the Patriots kicked the field goal to tie the game, and they went into overtime. And I'll never forget this. Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas were the captains walking to the coin toss. You just saw it all over them. You just knew they lost the game.
Defeated.
You knew they lost the game. I've never seen those individuals walk out in any way, shape, or form.
Before or after. But
before the toss, the game was over. The game was over.
I think people underestimate how important a great punter is for a team in certain situations.
If they flip the field, the game is over. And they go to the playoffs with Ricky Williams with 3 potential Hall of Fame players. Punting. Mark Royals, 2002. Google it. Traumatized. That's why I love punting. You need a punter for the moment.
You need a good punter. You need a good punter. For the moment. And by the way,
I miss you. Thomas Morstead. I miss you, Thomas. I had to get that out there.
Shout out to Thomas. Thomas and Jason know each other. I love it. I love that you know Thomas. It's so funny.
There's been 2 Jets that I've appreciated in my life. One of them is Wayne Corbett because he went to Hofstra down the road from my hometown. That's it.
Hofstra's
Wayne Corbett and Thomas
Morstead.
That's it.
Dude, we've had pretty good luck for the most part in our history with punters. Matt Turk.
Reggie Roby. I mean, we've had
Roby.
some good ones, sure, but give me some consistency in my life with a punter.
I know. I agree with that. I agree. Special teams.
That and center.
I'm going to say this. Special teams worries me more than the offensive line. Special teams worries me more as a Dolphins fan right now than the offensive line does.
Here's another thing that could ruin a game. You punt and you give up a return touchdown. Now, I'm not indicting the folks who were on the field for that preseason game against Atlanta.
A lot of those were forced.
None of those guys are on the team anymore.
None of those guys
I get that. But you know what really helps? A dog who just gets down and knocks the heck out of a player and causes a fumble on a punt return. And then another coverage guy is there in time and covers it up. And then lo and behold, Tua and the Dolphins have 15 yards of field to work with to score. That's what I'm saying. We need those things to happen.
Shannon Tucker said, what about snapping? Man, hey, look, Blake Ferguson got that deal because he's did you by chance happen to hear Belichick's 9-minute rant?
Number one, which was the greatest answer I've ever heard.
Amazing answer.
To the most blasphemous question.
I feel like I should.
No, it's 10 minutes, bro. It's 10 minutes, Steven. It's 10 minutes.
But it's so good. It's so. All right, if you missed it, look up Bill Belichick snapping. I think that's all you probably need to look up are those 2 things.
It's all over the place, but
and it's a 10-minute video of him answering a great question, which from Ben Violin. I think it was Ben Violin.
I thought it was blasphemous.
You didn't like it? I thought it was great.
No. Okay. I didn't like the question because it was insinuating the lack of importance for people who literally train for the position now.
No. I thought it was a great question. No, I thought it was. I disagree. I thought it was a great question. And I don't think he would have answered it if it wasn't a great question.
Fair.
Look, you and I both have done live reaction videos of the press conferences for the Miami Dolphins. And what is the one thing that we say all the time? Man, just ask better questions. Don't ask stupid questions. And 60% of the questions asked in most press conferences are stupid. Stupid questions. Ask football-related questions. That guy who asked it, which I think was Ben Violin, could be wrong, but I think it was Ben.
No, he's got a fun history. He's got a Dolphin history.
Yep. I think that that was one of the best questions I've ever heard asked, and most press conferences, because it was legit. And Belichick, who, by the way, gives you one-word answers 90% of the time, did a 10-minute rant about
I thought he took him to school.
And it was.
I thought he took him to school.
I thought he appreciated the question, and it was a damn good question.
Fair.
Really good question.
Fair. I'll give you my take on the long snapper.
And we've had and I think you even said it in a tweet in the last couple of days, that the Dolphins have had amazing snappers. I mean, look,
I love continuity at positions. And for 20 years, John Denny, who was, to the question asker's credit, John Denny, I believe, was a defensive end from BYU. He was not going to be a defensive end in the pros. And he was told, can you long snap? John Denny said, yeah. And then he happened to have become a long snapper for 20 years. He jokes around. You can listen to a Fish Tank podcast. Guy brought a freaking pitching wedge to practice. But he did his job perfectly for 20 years. 20 years on a football team. Now, you draft a guy like a Blake Ferguson, whose father taught him and his brother Reed, who's the Buffalo Bills long snapper, to be a professional long snapper. Hello, accuracy. That's no pun intended. Blake and Reed Ferguson's father one day said, I'm going to teach my kids the long snap.
Let me tell you.
And that's exactly what he did.
Tamika and I, my wife and I, after hearing Belichick's rant, which we listened to together, we both kind of simultaneously looked at each other and go, we need to teach Steven how to long snap.
Dude, I got my son out there trying to pick like ants off our fence with the ball.
And now that we know Coach Brandon
Kornblue,
we know Brandon Kornblue, maybe I'll get my son into one of his camps, and now all of a sudden my son gets to go play for Division I college as a long snapper.
Listen,
on a full ride. Go to college on a full ride as a long snapper.
Good student long snapper, you're getting a full ride for a Division I school. Because
Let's go.
What Blake Ferguson could do.
I got it.
And he'll tell you this.
Come here.
Blake Ferguson could tell you the rotations of the ball. He knows how to snap the ball.
You don't have to hit. You don't have to kick. You ain't got to throw. You just got to snap. Just long snap.
Find me a missed snap. Find me a missed snap by Blake Ferguson. Find it. He was drafted to make no problem from the snap to hold to kick, the snap to catch the punt. Blake Ferguson is like freaking Hawkeye as a long snapper. And that's why he was extended. And for people who don't appreciate that because he's only on the field for that, find me someone that does their job that perfectly, that often, for those many years of his life. And I'll pick the Fergusons. I mean,
all day.
It's just all day, man. All day.
It's
hilarious to how accurate, no pun intended, this family is about succeeding in what they intended out to do and how important it is. So
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Donate in increments of $5 and be entered to win a Jalen Waddle Funko Pop. Right now we have 4 entries into it by Mudbone. Shout out to Mudbone with the $20 donation. Jason, you got another card in there somewhere we can give away?
I got some fun ones. Let's see. Aha! I'll tell you what. I got 2 fun ones.
All right, do one each.
They're a little low in the value,
That's
but
fine.
They're fun cards.
Okay.
One of them they're both the same player, but one of them's a little bit more of a nice
Mudbone. It's
Devon Achane
right on the screen at Jason_Sarney.
I'll throw up a Devon Achane.
Here we go. Devon Achane. Devon Achane rookie card. Okay. First person to donate, let's say $10. They get to at least at minimum $10.
Make it. Okay, fine. Okay.
Minimum $10. They'll get at least 2 entries. All right, into it, and you'll get Devon Achane. All right. So donate at least $10. You get 2 entries because they're increments of 5. And we'll go.
There you go.
And then the next one, I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to do something fun on the next card that we're going to give away.
All right, you want a fun one? I'll give you a fun one.
No, we're not doing that yet. Let's wait to see who does this one, and then we're going to do it. So Devon Achane, $10 donation. You get it in the mail, and you get 2 entries into the Wheel of Waddle, as Jason put it, which I love.
Wheel of Waddle.
Wheel of Waddle to enter yourself to win a Jalen Waddle Funko. Okay. One of the things that I want to talk about was last night and how it could play an effect into our game. Last night, there was an offensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. The man was false starting every single play. Every single play. Did I mention every single play he was false starting? And they did not call it till about 2 or 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line at that point, mind you. What is your thoughts on the referees and how they might play a part on Sunday's game with the Chargers and the Dolphins?
I didn't read the script yet, so I don't know.
I like it.
But to reference your offensive tackle who was full start, someone tweeted that the guy was basically playing the slot, and I thought that was one of the best tweets of the night. I thought it was great because when you look at it, you think about that, you're like, how is this being allowed? But the referees, man. I'll tell you, all right, to segue, but just something that I can't see every time that we get penalized.
Thank you, Saxman, J. Will, and PJ Mac. Go ahead.
Every time, this is completely off subject, but on the penalties and referees. But if the Dolphins get multiple this season, ineligible men downfield.
Oh my God!
I just, oh my God!
I'm going to
just go nuts. I will lose my mind. I will lose.
You know, there were 2 things that happened last night that kind of made me just think about, not anything more. The bad snap off of the man in motion's nether region. I'll just say nether region. Okay. And that because the Dolphins have so many plays that start with a man in motion. I mean, our whole offense is based on having a man in motion at the beginning of the play. 90% of the plays. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. So that made me like, oh, okay. And then the second thing was just the how quickly we get the snaps off. There was a delay of game penalty, I think, late in the
that I'm interested in.
I was like, man, we got to clean those things up. And for me, that comes down to McDaniel and Fangio making sure that we're very, very disciplined. And if we, that's going to be important.
I think that, look, I mean, there's a lot of different strategies in how you communicate your play call to the quarterback, and the quarterback communicates it to the huddle. So whatever that process is, if it's McDaniel that does it, if he delegates it, someone does it in coordination with him, I would love to see it fixed. So we're not looking at the line until we're going up to where he needs to snap the ball, which is generally in an RPO set, where you're rushing, and it's like 1, 2, stop the ball. So I want to see a good 5-second, 7-second change. I need to see that change. So hopefully that's the other penalty we don't see a lot, delay a game.
Cameron Wolf, breaking news. Cameron Wolf. Coach Mike McDaniel says Teron Armstead will work out today, so they will make the decision today for him playing against the Chargers. Armstead's expectation remains to play in week 1 if it's up to him. Armstead has been out for 3 weeks, but Daniel said it's my job to protect players from themselves. So it sounds like
not a fun quote.
We're going to get a decision by the end of business today about if Armstead's going to be playing or not. Do you expect Armstead to play?
Listen, all injury questions. I'm going to say I'm not a doctor. I'm not there.
I'm not a doctor. Not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor. I only play one on YouTube.
PJ Max says Chiefs trade Kadarius Toney for a half-eaten bag of Sun Chips.
Whoa. Is it the Golden Harvest or is it the regular?
Hey guys, reminder, if you guys donate at least $10 right now, the first person to donate at least $10 will win this Devon Achane rookie card. Throw it up on the screen there, Jason. The Devon Achane rookie card. All right, throw it up a little bit closer so that they can see. There we go. Look at that. Look at that bad boy.
It's not a Dolphin jersey, but there's the Dolphin logo.
Yep. And you get 2 entries into the Funko Pop giveaway that we're doing.
Golden Harvest, whatever it is.
And if you want to know the what the Funko Pop is, let me throw it up on the screen for you so that way you can see what you can win. Oh, reminder, LA Takeover Tailgate is this weekend. Shout out to 305 Sports Babe. Sean Wooden is going to be there, the Gorillas, and the Honorable Solo D. So shout out to those amazing people out there. All right, here we go. Here we go. Right there. There you go. Jalen Waddle Funko. Come on now. Let's get them going. Let's raise some money for the channel. All right. Next thing. Sacks and interceptions. How many interceptions, how many sacks do you think that there'll be tomorrow on Sunday? And who do you think those guys, that will play a significant role in that? Here's what I think. Cam Smith's going to play a big part on Saturday, and I think Cam Smith's going to get an INT.
Now, I had an opportunity to be within a bunch of media folk on a conference call with Ari Myroff and Andy Benoit of the 33rd team earlier this week. And we each had an opportunity to ask a question. I asked Andy Benoit, who is an assistant coach with the Rams and has spent time with Jalen Ramsey. I asked him a general question about what he thought about the Jalen Ramsey injury, about Ramsey as a whole, Dolphins missing him, what have you. And he really broke it down awesome for me of what he believes the Dolphins and Fangio were going to use Ramsey as, both outside boundary cornerback, but really as like a slot, because he's a strong tackler, and the slot cornerback in Fangio's system is going to really need to be a sound run-stopping, strong tackler. So between Kader Kohou and Cam Smith, I'm really curious to see who's going to basically take over for that Ramsey role, So I really enjoyed hearing Andy just kind of break it down on how quality of a player Jalen is, understanding it's a big miss, but I'm going to be really interested to see who's taking over, I guess, the role that they really would have wanted Ramsey to play. That's not necessarily, tracking the number one receiver of the other team, but really taking care of multiple opportunities to be both an outside and a slot guy and really, just be a complete cornerback, which is what the Dolphins are clearly going to be missing with Ramsey injured. But I want to see if it's Cam Smith, if it's Kader Kohou, because I think turnovers are going to be generated by players like that. It may not be the top 3 or 4 or 5 defensive guys that we think, like your Hollins, like your Xavier Howards, like your Chubbs, Phillips, Wilkins, Sealers, maybe. The secondary and third players, like maybe Van Ginkel, maybe Agba creates a fumble on 1 or 2 of his pass brushes. You know what I mean? Cam Smith, Kader, these are guys who I think could come up with big plays.
Hey, this is a live look of Kadarius Toney going to the locker room at the end of the game.
Oh God.
Hope you all saw that.
Whoa. Hey, Steven. Dolphin state of mind.
Hey, Dolphin state of mind in the building.
Very nice. Thank you for that. That's awesome.
There we go. So he won the card.
I'm going to give him the secondary card too, because he's going to get another Achane card.
You get 10 entries. 10 entries into the Funko.
I'm
and
doing
you're
a
going to give
bonus
them another
Achane
card too, just on top of that for donating 50.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Shout out
100%.
to you, Dolphin State of Mind.
1000%.
My God.
Great stuff. Thank you so much.
You guys put on an awesome show. Fins up for life. Keep up the great work. It will eventually pay off. Love you guys. No, Dolphin State of Mind. We love you. That is Spread Kindness Friday. I appreciate that, Dolphin State of Mind. Thank you. Next one that we're going to give away. This is what we're going to do. Everybody that donates at $5 only. Okay. Well, if you donate more, you can donate more if you want to, but at least $5. We're going to do a quick wheel giveaway. So anybody who donates in the next, let's say 5 minutes, at least $5 for 5 minutes, you will be put in the wheel and we're going to give away a card. What card are we giving away for this wheel real quick? And by the way, you still get an entry into the Funko for Jalen.
I have actually a really, really, really fun card to give away, but I'll pair it with another really, really fun card. This is actually really cool for I don't know. I just think this is awesome.
Mudbone, Mudbone with another 10, but Mudbone, we'll put you in twice for this wheel giveaway. Thank you for the $10, man. We'll put you in for this one. Go ahead.
Sometimes I'll get a random pack of cards if I'm doing shopping at Target, if I'm at a place like that, I'll just see if there's any cool product and I'll get one blaster box. There's a college pack select. A lot of people, like I showed you, the Devon Achane, don't love the college jerseys, but to me, it's almost nostalgia. And this particular pack, although it's 2023, they do a great job of throwing old school players in the same pack. In the same pack, I got this card, Zach Thomas, Texas Tech.
Oh, that's
I kid you not. The next card.
Jason
now, if you're
Taylor.
A Dolphin fan like me, you're gonna just fly off the handle with this. Wes Welker, Texas Tech.
Wes Welker.
The next card. It was almost like the algorithm in Panini was like, all right, you got to put Zach Thomas, former Dolphin, Texas Tech stud. Former Texas Tech, current Dolphins coach.
All right, if you donate $5, you're going to get entered into the wheel for the next. It's 12:22 now, so we'll say 5 minutes from now. Okay, till 12:27. Donate $5, get entered into the wheel. If you donate more than every $5 increment, we'll put you in the wheel. So Mudbone has 2 entries into this wheel for this giveaway. So let me put wheel.
And a sidebar conversation. My basketball number was 35. Zach Thomas's college number. Just a sidebar conversation. I had 13 one year, and then the jerseys didn't allow me to get 13, so I chose 35.
Mudbone is in here twice, just so you know. I'm doing. Let me.
Hey man, you're accounting for this. This is great. Thank you to Mudbone. Thank you to Dolphin State of Mind. And the next individual will get the Texas Tech Raider duo, current coach Wes Welker.
Go to the side.
Dolphin, current Hall.
Change your face in the screen. Here we go.
What am I doing?
There we go. All right, so Mudbone twice right now. So Mudbone's got 2 entries. All right. So for this, you donate $5. You can donate on Cash App or PayPal. We're going to put you into the wheel names for this Wes Welker and Zach Thomas college card giveaway. So Mudbone versus Mudbone at the moment. Mudbone or Mudbone's going to win. Let's see.
It's a good battle.
Some other entries in there.
It's a good battle.
Some other entries in there. All right. While we're waiting on more entries to come in, what I want to do, McD says, I got 5 on Mudbone. Hey, right now it's looking good. It's looking good. You guys can also donate on Cash App or PayPal as well. Just let me know if you do it in the chat. And I'll drop the link for Cash App and PayPal. That way you guys have that as well. Here we go. Boom. There we go. All right. And so there's about 3.5 minutes left to get in on this giveaway. $5. You get entered in. And by the way, every $5, you're also going to still get into the wheel of names for the Jalen Waddle Funko Pop too. So if you donate $5 here, you get into this wheel of names, but you're still also entered into the Jalen Waddle Funko Pop one as well. So come on, get in here. Next thing I want to talk about real quick is tight end. What do you expect from the tight ends on Sunday? Durham Smythe obviously being the starter. I think that we're going to see some Alec Ingold play from that position as well. What are your thoughts about it?
Doing the dirty work, blocking, maybe coming up with the third down target when needed. Look, Smythe and Ingold had both taken a handoff at the goal line and rushed it in. So trickiness like that, volume of targets, I have an expectation of not many. But again, if it's third down and short, Durham Smythe on a quick out route, Alec Ingold here or there, factoring in to help move the chains, maybe help put 6 on the board. The volume I don't think will be there, but the blocking better be, because that's what the tight end needs to do on this offense.
You know, for me, I don't know quite how this offense is going to be utilized without having Mike, with tight end wise, without having a Mike Gesicki here, right? And so it'll be very interesting to see that. For me, we saw a lot last year in Ingold from the tight end position, but it was because he was blocking a lot. He had that broken hand or finger or whatever it was last year, and he had the cast on. But this year, I that he's healthy, he's ready to go. So for me, I think
he's not gonna. It's not his job to catch the ball often.
No, it's not.
He's maxing it 20 receptions.
But I'm very interested to see how the tight end is 100% utilized in this offense with Durham Smythe, Julian Hill. Who's the third tight end? Why am I having a brain fart? I can't think.
Tanner Connor.
Tanner Connor. Yeah. Tanner Connor's probably going to get some snaps too, to see.
I would like, I mean, in aggregate, these guys should see the field, but, I just, Julian Hill, I think, could be a target-friendly guy eventually.
Kraft.
No, Kraft, I think, is it Kraft? But
I'm going to go to our labs just to make sure.
It's Kraft. Yes, they brought Kraft.
Tight end room is Durham Smythe, Tyler Croft, Julian Hill.
They brought Kraft back. My bad.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of targets to go around for those tight ends, I believe. And even Smythe, 50 seasonal targets, I think would be a big number for him. But that would also equate to like 35 catches, 30
you
catches.
You think they'll utilize the tight ends in the red zone?
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't need, middle of the field or in your own territory heavy usage for chunk plays out of these tight ends. But like when you're talking inside the 10, inside the 20, third and short, pick up a first down to make it a goal situation, that's when a Durham Smythe can come into play. When it's 3rd and 3 at the 30, to move into position to score, I think to get 4 yards with Smythe or Ingold, that's when we could see those non-Tyreek Hill, non-Jalen Waddle chain-moving plays, if it's not Braxton Berrios or a receiver. So timeliness, absolutely. Volume over the course of the year, I can't see a huge amount. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to see Durham Smythe and or Alec Ingold to be peppered with targets. That's just fun to me. But I also, give me watching them block or helping their teammates do what they need to do. I think that's what they're going to get paid to do, because that's what they were extended and get paid to do, is the things that we don't necessarily see on the stat sheets. That's what Durham Smythe and Alec Ingold do tremendously well, is not the things that we see on the stat sheets. It's all the other things. Go back to the Green Bay Packer game. Best block of the year, I think, was from Alec Ingold on a rushing touchdown. Alec Ingold, this was an A+++ block, and then just celebrated as such because he cleaned them. He depleted them. But of course, that was a game we didn't win. But point is, dirty, hardworking guys, the dirt work, not the fun work for those type of guys. So I like them, but we're not going to see them from a fantasy standpoint, or the highlights and the shine. The light is not going to be shined on them until someone points out these blocking things that I think that they do well.
All right, guys. About 1 more minute left, and I'm going to go ahead and it looks like Mudbone will end up being a winner if nobody else donates $5. And tell them real quick. So they got about 60 seconds left. Show them real quick the cards, so they can see what they're putting the $5 in for, and they'll also be entered to win the Funko Pop later.
Got a pair of Texas Tech Raiders, one current Hall of Famer, one current Dolphin coach, both former Miami Dolphin players.
Wes Welker and Zach Thomas. Wes Welker and Zach Thomas cards. They're pretty dope looking too.
So it's fun to open up these packs. I'm showing you a card that I will be putting not on this. But this is actually like a card that's a normal card, but it's like a shiny, like silver parallel of it. So it's actually worth a couple of dollars. But this is a Merino Pittsburgh Prism silver doohickey with like a rainbow shine to it.
That's not for this. That's not for this. That'll be the last one that we do.
That's for me. This is called the PC card. This is a personal collection card. But what I will put up for anybody who might want to jump in.
Wait. Don't put that up. Don't put it up yet. I want to make sure nobody else gets in on this.
Well, I'm going to add this to the Zach Thomas and Wes Welker. To put a little incentive in. I'm going to add to it. So it's a 3 card. So if anybody wants to jump in for this last raffle, this will be the last one. It'll add to the Welker and Thomas. It's a Merino Pittsburgh, a different one, but that's still a Merino Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right. So you get a Zach Thomas. Show the Zach Thomas.
You got a Zach.
Throw it up higher a little bit or closer.
Now you're asking for too much.
I know. There we go. Wes Welker is the next one.
Miss Finn, did you win a contest? Did you send me the address? I got some Gasekis. This is the Merino. Where's the Welker? There's the Welker. And there's the Welker.
There we go. All right. About a minute left. Donate $5. Get into the wheel of destiny here to win those awesome, amazing things. There we go. Right there. And yeah, we will do that. Right now, Mudbone looks like Mudbone. Mudbone's gonna beat Mudbone. I don't know who's gonna win. It might be Mudbone. Should be interesting. Should be interesting. All right. While we're waiting for that last, minute, I want to see if anybody else jumps in here. My phone is blowing up. Give me your outlook for final score, Jason.
27-23. I'm going to stick to it. And
Why
here's what I'm going to like.
23?
Why 27-23? Because everyone loves the over, and I'm going to be the guy to say it'll be a point less. Because that's just our life. Week 1, I don't think there's going to be adjustments, timing, the cadence of things. So to think shootout, I'm going to take a little bit of pause with. I'm going to throw in the Fangio factor. And here's what I would like to see. Here's what I would love to see. I would love going to halftime with a lead. 13-10, 14-7, whatever. And then clamp down in the third, go into the fourth with the lead. And I want the team to be on the field, the defensive unit with a lead. All right? I literally want the defense to win it. I don't necessarily want to see, I don't care how they win it, but it would mean a lot to us as Dolphin fans if Tua took care of business throughout the game, or at least in the fourth quarter where they got the lead, right? And now it's time for Vic Fangio to say, all right, 2 minutes, 13 seconds left. They have 2 timeouts. We have none. Offense did their business. All right, boys, what do you want to do? You want to go home? Let's go home. And let Fangio and the defense win. That's what I see happening. And if you want to see that turnover or interception, let it happen then. Let the Dolphins run to the camera. Let them do all their fun little and then Vic Fangio won't even smile. We'll see him up in the booth. He did his job.
All right. Hey, look, let's do for the cards for Zach Thomas, Dan Marino, and Jason Taylor.
If anybody wants to place any side bets right now, side bets. No more bets.
It's Mudbone. Who would have thunk it?
You see, if this was the casino, for me, somehow it would have landed on like 0 or 00. I wouldn't have even won the color differentiation. It would have like ended up on the non-option for me.
All right, Mudbone, you won those. I'm gonna say, all right. I'm gonna set what you guys in the chat. Tell us what your final score prediction is gonna be. I'm gonna set up the final wheel of Waddle here. For by the way, if you want to get in on this, let me just show you what it is one more time, so y'all can see. This is what we are giving away for $5 entry. We are giving away a Jalen Waddle Funko Pop. Okay, it's pretty cool. It's pretty dope. With shipping and tax, they go for like $23 with shipping and tax. So
$23.47.
Yeah. So for $5, you get a chance to win it. All right. So donate $5 to the channel, help the channel grow, and you will get that opportunity to do it. In the meantime, I'm going to set up the wheel of Waddle, and you call out what people are saying in the chat for their final score predictions.
All right, we got 24-14 Fins from the Wayne D Experience. That works for me. That plays into the take care of business. Defense does its job well. If you're holding the Chargers under 20 points with them at home, I'm loving what the Fangio factor is something that we're going to be tracking the entire year. If I just made that a thing, the Fangio factor. We'll track it. Oh, Miss Finn, 17-10. I'll tell you that's to me, I'll take it, because that just means that this defense clamped down. And you know what? The defense on the other side of the ball holds the fence 17, and they go home and win. I said it's all I care about is the win. I'm fine with it. So we have Miss Finn's 17-10. Good guys. We have Sharif West, 41-10. Good guys. We have Richard McLean, 52-3. Bad guys. Richard, that ain't happening. We have Patrick going 31-21. Fins. That I can see. We have Dolphins X Tua, 32-17 Fins. Okay. All right. I like what we're seeing. This is a Dolphins channel. But yeah, I mean, to go on the road and to get a win is all that is cared about. However it happens, we'll have a fun time, hopefully, dissecting. AFC on the road to come home with a W. That would be huge.
All right, if you guys want to get into this, we're going to do it for another 5 minutes.
Yep.
$5 entry gets you an entry. Every $5 gets you an entry into this thing. So right now we got Dolphin State of Mind, then Mudbone, and the winner will get a chance to win a Jalen Waddle Miami Dolphins Funko Pop. It's pretty dope. All right, $5 gets you an opportunity. So if you want to donate $5 to the channel, you can do it on Cash App or PayPal. I'll put the Cash App, here we go, or QR code right on your screen. Okay. Or you can do Super Chat or Super Sticker, and I will add you to the list here. All right, here's my thoughts about the game on Sunday. I think Tua's going to have 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns. I think the Dolphins are going to have a couple sacks and interception, maybe 2. I think we're going to show Herbert what time it is. We're going to show the Chargers we are not the team that they played last year. I think we're going to have a running back with over 100 yards rushing, and we're going to absolutely dominate them. And I think we're going to win 31-21, just like Patrick thinks. 31-21 Miami. I think that we'll score a lot in the third quarter and at the beginning of the fourth. And then we'll be up 31-14 late in the fourth. Mike White will come in, play like the last 10 minutes. They'll get a garbage time touchdown to make it 31-21. is ultimately what I think will happen. You like that?
Steven threw that hopium in them Cheerios this morning.
I did. I threw them hopium in them Cheerios.
Sprinkled a little hopium.
Hopium.
I love it. I mean, look. Like I referenced before, it would be really amazing to have a win like that. That's all I'll say. It would be phenomenal to have consistent wins where it's not just a win where we're literally last possession, need to do this, need to do that, or whatever. I would love for you to be 1,000% correct. I would love.
Hey, Nelly Nell just hit you up on Twitter. That's Mudbone, just so you know.
Just
hit you up on Twitter. So Mudbone says 31-17. William says 42-13 Chargers. Boo, William. Boo. There's guys, the Dolphins are putting up points. You think the Dolphins are William, you only think the Dolphins are putting up 13 points on Sunday? Come on, man. Be real. Be honest with yourself. Stop hating. Stop hating, William. All right, come on. All right, I'll tell you what. You donate at least $1 to the channel right now. I'll add you into the mix. Donate $1 to the channel. I'll add you into the mix. Need to get a couple more entries in here.
What are your plans for the game while we're waiting and while we
this weekend's gonna be crazy. I got so much 21-3 Fangio.
That's the answer right there, Aldo. I like that. That's the answer. Throw that up there.
I'm doing so much packing. I still got so much packing to do. By the way, Friday, can you host your own show on Friday or get somebody to host it with you? I know I'm asking you a lot. You sure?
I can handle that.
Okay, so you're hosting on Friday.
I'm a little nervous right now.
That's all right. I'll try to get Allie if Allie's off to host with you.
We can do that. We'll do that. Maybe we'll bring the community feel in there, get a lot of folks in there, and I'll take care of it.
Okay. So Thursday,
I'll Earl Moral it to your Bob Greasy.
Wednesday is going to be I don't know who's going to do it Wednesday, but somebody's going to host Wildin' Out Wednesday. Thursday is going to be Lewis and Shake Money and Cameron 954. Friday will be you and whoever. Monday will be Shake Money and Lewis again. Tuesday, I think will probably be CB83 and DJ Genesis, and then whoever hosts this Wednesday will host next Wednesdays or the following Wednesdays, and I'll be back that Thursday. So I'll be gone Wednesday through Thursday.
We got you. We'll take care of you.
I'm hoping at minimum I'll have stuff up and going by then. Yeah, man, I'm doing a lot. So I'm gonna watch it from my house. I'm gonna watch it from my house probably by myself with my family, and order a couple pizzeria, and some wings, and just watch it by myself.
That's the next thing I can't wait for is thematic cooking per matchup. Meaning, within the Dolphins Weekly newsletter, I'm going to be doing a lot of my cooking and a lot of recipes, but I'm going to try on Friday's editions, Stephen, to go into thematic as per matchup and teams and regions that we play, that kind of food. So think about who we're playing next week.
We are playing New England on Sunday Night Football.
So when you think that, think of what kind of a dish I'll be trying.
Clam chowder. New England clam chowder. Clam. Chowder. Lobster rolls. I need some lobster.
That's now lobster. You're thinking. That's what.
Okay. Lobster rolls. What else? What else is New England known for as far as food? I don't know. Clam chowder and lobster.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, the region is pretty good. I guess like lower in New England, not like Boston, but like pizza in
Lobster
Connecticut.
bisque.
If you want,
Mudbone says lobster bisque.
No, I'm sticking with the seafood. I'm sticking with the seafood. Yeah.
Guys, any other donations? Come on, man, help the channel grow. Seriously, $1? Let's go. Donate. Help the channel grow. A $1 gets you an entry into the Funko Pop. Let's go. I want to get 5 people donating $1 at least. Let's go. And then I'll end the show. Not ending the show before then. What are you doing for the game?
Thank God, not needing to rely on having to go to a bar or elsewhere. I got my YouTube TV. So on my couch. And I can't wait.
Did you spend the money for YouTube?
I've always had YouTube TV. We cut the cable.
I have YouTube TV as well. I found a hack. That's all I'm gonna say.
Whatever works for you. But for me, if it was not traveling to the game, going down to Miami, and I didn't get it as a Northeasterner in my living room, you're going to bars, you're going to Buffalo Wild Wings. So at least I'm saving the bill.
Send it to overtime. I used to go to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch them all the time back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Right when I started dating my wife, I used to go to B-Dubs all the time. B-Dubs don't slap the way it used to, though.
No, not at all.
B-Dubs used to have great wings. Everything about B-Dubs was amazing back in the day. But as I've gotten older, just doesn't slap the same way it used to.
Nothing's better than watching a game at home, if you're not at Hard Rock. But to me, I love watching my game at home and then either happy cooking for a celebratory meal.
I've been watching a lot of Orioles. I've been watching a lot of Orioles games.
They're playing good ball.
Man. I know they're playing amazing baseball right now. They're the second best team in all of baseball. It's really good stuff. Saxman J Will donate $1 to the channel, and I'll tell you the hack when you DM me. Let's go. Let's go, Saxman J Will.
So that's basically home viewing is always a good thing.
By the way, I liked your audition for Dolphins Weekly today. It was really good.
Appreciate that. And gonna try to mix it up, different things each week that might not be necessarily the same flavor or the same exact bits of content. And I also want to integrate folks, so I know a lot of folks watching right now, you have your own shows, whether it's YouTube, whether it's, any platform, please, for no cost, no advertising dollars at all. It's all community, all spreading.
It's all part of the
terrific of
family.
Exactly. So if you say, hey, DM me, I got a show I want to produce or I want to promote, I'll put the link up. It's my pleasure. Just reach out. It's for everybody. So thank you,
look at Dolphin state of mind.
There you go.
All right. 10 random people in the chat on me. All right.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Let's take it on home. That's a great way.
That's a great way to end Spread Kindness.
You know what? Give it to everyone who made a score prediction.
Yeah. All right. If you made a score prediction.
Aldo.
All right. Hold on.
William.
Hold on. Aldo.
I got you.
Aldo. William.
Miss Finn.
Miss Finns.
You got to give Dolphin State of Mind another entry on that.
Go ahead.
Patrick. You got Patrick.
Yep.
Dolphins X Tua.
Dolphins X Tua. Okay.
Richard McLean, you have 13 seconds to give me a different score prediction because I'm not putting that 52-3 junk up in here. I'm kidding, but you have 10 seconds to give me a different score prediction. 41-10 for Sharif West. So Sharif's in there.
Sharif.
You got
Sharif's in the Bahamas. So if he wins, that's got to go to the Bahamas.
Sharif, we might have to talk about some dual payment for shipping and handling, but
yes.
I don't mind domestic, but international handling. Come on. The money tree was cut down a couple of seasons ago.
Who else?
Here I am donating plasma to send you all gifts. Kidding. All right, we got Lil V
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 people. I need 4 more.
Stetson 0.
Stetson's my boy. Stetson 0.
The Wayne D experience. Did we get him?
Stetson O. Who?
The Wayne D experience.
Wayne D. Wayne. D experience.
How many do we got?
Oh, look, Sackman J. Will just donated 2.
We'll give him 2 in there, and then we'll rock.
No, he just donated 2 himself, and we need to get. I think we need to get 2 more.
LILLV1008.
What is it?
LILLV1008. He gave a score prediction.
And then 1 more.
Why don't we pick someone randomly and go into the beginning of the chat? What about B. McD? He won the bet on Mudbone versus Mudbone, so we got a credit.
Okay. B. McD?
Oh, he didn't have much competition, but why not?
B. McD. B. McD. That's my boy, too. I like B. McD. He's a good guy.
Good people in there. Good people. Okay.
It is, man. D.
All right.
D. All right.
I will say this, Stephen. The odds of a Alec Ingold anytime touchdown or Lord Willing, the first Dolphins score of the season, could put people through college. Just letting you know. Astronomical odds. Just saying.
All right. We got Mudbone in here a lot. Dolphin State of Mind. Aldo, William, Miss Fins, Patrick, Dolphins times Tua, Sharif, Stetson O, Wayne D, Saxman J. Will, Saxman J. Will, Lil V 1008, and B McD. Anybody else want to get in here before we finish this? By the way, Sharif, if you win, you got to pay for shipping and handling to Bahamas. Okay, just so you know. We might throw a couple more things in there to make it worth your while, but if Sharif wins, you got to pay for shipping and handling to the Bahamas, my guy.
We'll talk offline about that, Sharif. We'll work out something.
That's if you win, Sharif. That's
if.
28 entries. Any other entries in here? Let's go.
That's a good wheel. That is
a good wheel. I like it. You want to just do it?
I think let's roll.
Let's roll. Let's make it happen, Captain.
Make it happen.
All right. I need to shuffle it.
Shuffle it. I'll tell you what. Shuffle it. Click 17 times for Waddle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right.
You know.
Are you ready? You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Love it.
You ready to do this?
You can't get me. I'm ready. Let's rock. This is exciting. It's exciting. This is exciting. Who's waddling with it? Lil
Miss
Which means you take this out of the Gesicki card race. No, I'm just kidding, Miss Fins. I got you there too. Thanks. Good day,
Miss Fins.
Both coming to you. I'll tell you what. This is phenomenal. And with all due respect to Sharif, and this isn't an insult, Miss Fins, you're saving me shipping because we just confirmed that I'm going to see you week 3 with the Gesicki. So you're saving me shipping. This is phenomenal.
No way. Shut up. No way. Aldo said scripted.
Not at all.
I was hoping you would win, Miss Fins. Congratulations, Miss Fins. I love it. I love it. It's about as scripted as the NFL is. Okay.
Don't you quiz show me on this, Aldo.
Shout out to Miss Fins, man. 1 entry. See, by the way, that's a great example that you don't need to do. Like, I appreciate everybody who does. You have no idea.
She just River Craycrafted this whole thing. 1 catch.
She did.
I mean, that's all you need.
River Craycrafted.
Just River Craycrafted this whole show.
I like it. Shout out to Miss Fins.
Okay. That's it. River Craycraft Miss Fins. There it is.
Saxman J. Will in the building. Steven, you still got to hook me up.
Come back next week.
Come back next week. Call me Miss River, Miss Finn says. I like it. Dude, this was a great show today. It is Spread Kindness Friday. What is your Spread Kindness words of wisdom on Friday?
My kids started school again this week. So something that I tell them all the time is obviously treat people with respect. Something I always want to make sure that in my world, my kids hopefully don't get bullied, but my kids will never be a bully. So treat people well. Understand that things like, going back to school could be very hard for kids. Going back to work could be hard for people. Going back to anything could be hard for people. Let's start this season right, and let's spread kindness, spread positivity, and do everything that you do, Stephen. So that's where I'm at. Just treat people kindly, and if you have differentiations of opinion, that's okay. But keep it to the opinion. Don't attack individuals for any other reason. That's what I got. Be respectful.
Saxman J. Will, hit me up on Twitter, and I'll DM you, my guy. Well, I'll get you the hookup. My final thought, or my spread kindness words of wisdom of the day is treat others. It's so cliche to say treat others the way they want to be treated. Here's what I know. Here's what I know. Everybody who donated today, I know how much it costs to live. I know how much gallons of milk cost. I know how much gas cost. I know how much all of this stuff cost. And I'm trying to respond to Saxman J. Will in the chat here. I know how much all this stuff costs. Life in general is expensive. Okay, and it all adds up, and every dollar counts. So for the people that do donate, even if it's $2, like Saxman J. Will, okay, and if you donated more than that, like my man Dolphin State of Mind did today, and Mudbone did today, and I'm just grateful for every single dollar that is ever donated to this channel. I do this 5 days a week. This is pretty much what I do, and every dollar counts. And in the middle of the mood, this move, I have to admit, things have been more than tight. They have been bad. So I'm trying to keep my head above water. I'm trying to do things the right way. I'm trying to go about everything. So just know that your dollars that you send towards the channel is so greatly appreciated. So I want to be grateful for the spread kindness that people do give to this channel when they do donate financially, because I know how hard it is, and I know how hard you work for your money, and I'm just grateful that you think enough of me to even donate $1 to the channel. I really mean that. Really mean that. You have no idea how important that is for me, my family, the people that contribute to the show, like Jason. It's I'm very grateful for everything that you guys do. So my spread kindness today is just, I am grateful for the kindness and generosity that you guys show me by donating to the channel. And it means the world to me. So thank you so much for doing it. It's always appreciated. Next 2 weeks for me are going to be absolutely bananas and insane. I'm going to try to make it that you guys have content even when I'm gone. Know how important that is. And if you guys can show support to those people that are hosting the show and the respect that you guys show me every day and the love, that helps. It helps tremendously. It helps. So, please, donate, hit the like button, share the link, everything. It all helps. Miss Finns, if you want to host one of my shows one day over the next week and a half.
I'll tell you what. She's got an open invite to come on Friday and help me as much as she'd like next week. Open invite, Miss Finns. You want to be my co-pilot? Would absolutely love it.
I would love for Miss Finns to be a co-host on one of the shows next week, and it would be great.
You could ride shotgun anytime, Miss Finns. 100%.
Kevin Lee has been a member for 4 months. He said, awesome show, guys. Any final score predictions for Sunday's game and get ready for the victory Monday? Steven, it's coming. Let's go. Fins up. I love it.
Love it.
Miss Finn says next Friday is my birthday and my birthday bash. Okay, I like it. Okay, well, if you want to do the morning show that day, or if you want to co-host another day next week, hit me up, Miss Fins, and I'll get you on with somebody that's doing it, and you can host or co-host one of the shows next week.
For sure.
I'll be doing my birthday bash at 8 a.m., so maybe afterwards. I like it. Okay. William Perry with a 20. Oh, thank you, William. Sorry I was late to the party, Stephen. Busy day. Thank you, William. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you,
Dolphin
William.
State of Mind says, I'm grateful for you and your channel and all the other Dolphins YouTubers that put in the hard work to help me get through my tough day. You guys are a blessing. Thank you, man. Terrence says, come to the Green Turtle for the game, Stephen. I can't, man. I can't drive an hour and a half away and then an hour and a half back. I got way too much stuff to do. I want to. I would love to. I can't do it. But I will definitely be seeing you guys. William Perry says, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Yes, you will. William's going to help me do some work on my new house. He lives in Alabama.
That's right. Yep.
He's going to come. He's going to come help me. I'm excited. Man, this has been a great show today. Spread Kindness Friday. Dolphins Chargers Sunday. It's going to be a fun one. I don't know if I'm going to do a pregame show or not. I'm going to have to figure it out. It depends. But I will see you guys, worst case scenario, on Victory Monday. You will see me on Victory Monday. Tuesday will be my last show for the week, and then I will have somebody hosting every other day till I come back. So you guys won't be left without anything. All right? So I love you guys. Jason, any final words?
Fins up. We made it. We're here. Let's come home with a W. We're going back to Cali and coming home with a W.
We're going back to Cali. I love you guys. Guys are the best. We'll see y'all next week right here on Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. Peace.
We've been waiting, we've been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, we in route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't want to overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, you gonna notice now. You should notarize it. They say 2 from that rock. Shout out to Samoa and I.